Oh, hello, good morning to all you out there. Yes, it is me, Solo, once again. I need to rethink these 12 a.m. streams on a Friday night / Saturday morning because I am tired as F, and yet I'm still here going to give you a stream. I'm going to discuss what I'm going to discuss right now because it is a very interesting thing to me. Again, no mucking about. I'm not going to try and bring people into the chat. They can watch this after. I'll try to be as quick and concise as I possibly can be. So thank you if you're watching now, and to those watching later on, thank you for watching. So as the title read, is cosmetic surgery unknowingly, fraudulent in a way, because these days it seems that everyone has plastic surgery in one way or another. A lot of people do it afterwards, like after they've had kids and things like that, if they're a female, or if it's men, if they're unhappy with their appearances and things like that. But for men, it would probably be something done before they find a long-term partner rather than something that they'll have after they find a partner, whereas women will probably do the opposite. Now, what prompted me to have this thought was a backwards and forwards I had with a friend today, showing me some things on Instagram, some cosmetic surgery nonsense, and I think of it as nonsense anyway. And basically, the premise was that a lady had her nose done, so she had a bit of a bridge on her nose, and then it was up, and then it got flattened down. I'm like, that's fine, whatever, but that's not her natural nose. And if she has done that and hasn't told her partner, and he's got a flat nose and the kid's got a crooked nose, then it's going to be a question of what's going on here, like what's the situation. Now, as extreme and as silly as that may sound, all the same, I think it is something that people need to worry about. And before we get into the real meat and potatoes of what point I want to get across, and this isn't to stop people from getting plastic surgery. Hey, if you want to get surgery, by all means, go and get it done. No one is saying no, but just with the grain of salt, just remember that depending on how hard your surgery is, depending on how much of it you get, that could be a negative depending on what you want for it. If you're a man or a female and you've been married for multiple years and have had kids already, and you get something done for yourself, I can understand that, fair enough. But if you don't have the best features as a young person and you go and get plastic surgery, like a full face overhaul, or you have ab implants, or whatever, like cheekbones, nose done, eye lift, whatever, and someone thinks, oh, they're so good looking, so pretty in that sense, well, maybe it might not be so. So in that sense there, maybe it's not the smartest idea to get it. At least if you're going to get it and you're not telling people, then that's a different story altogether. So in saying that, this is what prompted me to think and bring this along. Now, it has been said that this actual article is probably not exactly 100% true. A lot of backwards and forwards I've seen online has stated that it's actually not a legitimate story, but rather a story from a village in China that has been embellished a little bit. Now, because there is no record of any payment having been transferred over, no legal documentation or anything like that. But as the title reads here, says, man sues wife after she gives him an ugly baby. This is from November 7, 2013. Now, there's a picture of the supposed lady on screen there. So that's the before and that's the after. Before surgery, after surgery. And this is why I say, like, this stuff, let's not take everything at face value. There are some nuances and some things to discover within there. But if you looked at this, and this wouldn't be out of the equation. I would see this as something as being quite regular. Now, I don't think this would be something that is beyond the realms of something happening today, because, as I said, plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery is prevalent. A lot of people are doing it these days. Most of them are female. There are some males out there, all the same still, but you get the idea. And as the article reads, it says, court in northern China has sided with an angry ex-husband who sued his estranged wife for marrying him without disclosing her previous plastic surgeries. Now, again, apparently this story has been debunked. It's not exactly 100% true, but I think the moral of the story is within itself here. So it says, fuming hubby Feng Jian only found out about his wife's, not her wife's, Scample's touch-up after she gave birth to their baby daughter, who was ugly beyond description, according to court papers cited by Sina News. Again, don't know if this is legit or not. Let's just take this as a story that's been embellished and people have ran with it. So it says Fang initially suspected his wife of having an affair, but after DNA tests proved she was the ugly duckling's biological dad, she fessed up by having done $100,000 worth of cosmetic surgeries before they met. The court ordered her to pay him 120 grand for his claims of marriage under false pretenses. Now, I think we'll just leave it there. That's pretty much all it is. And he says here, the lawsuit originally reported in the US newspapers 2004, no details of any adjudication or payout, so we don't know if this actually happened or not. But it says, while many have cast doubt on the wild tale, details of an alleged civil settlement were reported on the Chinese websites last year in English language media this week. So there could have been something out there, but we'll go on this on face value here. And this is the bit here. For his claims of marriage under false pretenses. I mean, if you're marrying someone based on appearance and they're not exactly the person who they say they are because they've had surgery done to them or they have excess makeup and you've never seen him without makeup, which is this story here. Groom sues bride for not looking pretty without makeup from August 3rd, 2015. Again, we'll just take this on face value. An Algerian groom took his bride to court just the day after their marriage, accusing her of not looking as pretty as before the wedding and of cheating him with much makeup. It has been said that makeup has the term put across it called fake up, and it's basically not a true representation of ladies. However, on the flip side, we want women to look pretty. Women want to look pretty. The way they look pretty, they enhance themselves is through makeup, if they don't have the money for surgeries. I think surgeries are probably, I wouldn't say worse, but for lack of a better term, we'll say worse than using a lot of makeup, because makeup can come off and you can actually see the person underneath the makeup, whereas surgery, that's a little bit different. But the groom, seeking $20,000 in damages, told court in the capital, Algiers, that he was shocked when he got up the next morning and found his wife looked so different that he could not recognize her. Newspapers in the North African Arab country said the groom swore in court that he even mistook his wife for a thief who came to steal his apartment. Groom told the judge that he could not recognize his wife after she washed the makeup off her face. He was deceived by her as she used to fill her face with makeup before the marriage. She looked very beautiful and attractive, but she woke up, found that washed the face with makeup, frightened that she thought it was a thief. Now, this sounds like a little bit far-fetched, but if it is an Arab wedding, shall we say, or a maybe an Islamic wedding, probably an arranged one, the guy would never have seen her without makeup. Any time he would have seen her would have been with makeup, because that's part of the culture. They've got to look pretty, they've got to look good and all that sort of stuff. So I can understand that aspect if that was the case. But again, man tries to sue his bride for being not pretty without makeup on for 20 grand, because appearance is a big thing for men, believe it or not, people. Appearance is a big thing for men. Now, when it comes to appearance being a big thing for men, you got to remember that men themselves do try and change their appearances, because I think everyone knows Mr. Ollie London, a white influencer who identifies as Korean after surgeries to look like a BTS singer, and 18 plastic surgeries later, looks like K-pop member of BTS identifies as Korean. That's still nuts to me. There he is there. He wanted to look like Jimin, who is apparently a K-pop star. And this is just another case of, I don't know, like, again, people can do whatever the hell they want. That's no issues there, but people got to realize as well, when people do things, people will notice. People will speak out against it if it is odd to them. And it's more so the point that people don't understand why other people do certain things. But why would anyone want to transition and become a transracial person from coming from one particular background? I don't understand that whole instance there. It's very, very odd to me that would even be a thing. But hey, what the hell? Seems to be the situation. And men will change their appearance based on how they feel, or how they feel inside, and all that. And it reminds me of that South Park episode when Kyle wants to play basketball for the school team, but he's not tall enough and he's not black, because to be a basketballer you need to be a tall black man. Or a kid, and he's not. So he goes to get surgery, plastic surgery, to have the appearance and the feel of a tall black man when he is not. And when he tries to play, it all falls to shit. And then his dad, I'll never forget it, when you see what's his damn Gerald. He loves dolphins, and he becomes a dolphin. He gets a dolphin plasty from the plastic surgeon, and he's got a dorsal fin and all that nonsense. And it just shows the absurdity. And this is South Park 10 years ago, maybe a bit more. Let's say about 10 years ago, basically making fun of this stuff before it even happened. So that's props to Matt Stone and Trey Parker on that one there. But I mean, this is a delusion, if you ask me. Plastic surgery can sort of come to a delusion when it's used in this extreme here. But when it's used in a sense of changing your appearance because you're not happy with how you look before you've met someone, and the person who you've met thinks you've always looked like that, they've never seen kid photos or anything, which would be a little bit suspect, I would imagine. But then you get married later on, you have kids, and it's like, doesn't look like you. Like, what's the situation here? And biologically, through DNA, yes, they would be hers. Obviously, she gave birth to them. Like the story went with the Chinese couple. He thought that she was cheating on him because the baby didn't look exactly right. Now, again, this might not be 100% accurate, but we'll just use it as a story that it did happen. So you just have no idea sometimes with people and their appearances. But there you go, Ollie London. Apparently being a Korean is a good thing. And comment here from Ginger. Hello. Says, imagine what the human race will look like after 100 years. We're heading towards unrecognizable. Yeah, again, South Park, when they did their bit on the Goobacks, the future folk coming to the past so they can work and have a better life for themselves. They were a mixed race of almost everyone, and they had the same skin tone, and they all looked exactly the same. And that's sort of like where we're probably heading towards. We're evolving into that particular stance at the moment now. So, but again, this isn't a knock on plastic surgery per se. You want to get plastic surgery, you should be wholeheartedly able to do it. But just realize that if you're going to do it and it's going to be before you meet someone, I think it's only fair that you tell someone that you've actually done it, because the last thing you want to be doing is lying about plastic surgery. And an article from 2013 by the admin for Dr. Capriotti, who is a plastic surgeon. He says, or this person writes, says, while neither is the best option, telling the truth is lying about getting plastic surgery is far worse. They go on about having excuses on why you have band-aids, I had a car accident and things like that. But it says here that could create trust issues, even possibly lead to separation or divorce. And I think that's a fair point here. And it is something, there is something to be said about that, because if you've had some work done, again, I'm not talking about like a bit of a nose job or some ears or a bit of eyes or whatever, but like a major surgery, like a whole reconstruction, that's where that would be something you really want to tell the person you're having kids with, because it's like, you know, the way I can describe it, it's like you're buying a Ferrari, for example, but the engine inside is not as schmick as what the body on the outside is. The engine runs and it all works and everything, but it's not exactly what you think it is for the product that you're buying. So just, I think that's one thing we can keep in mind in that stance there. But yeah, the last thing you want to be doing is lying about getting plastic surgery for that sort of instance there. However, this one here is an absolute cracker. I would not have believed this if I hadn't seen this myself. But a California woman sued her parents because she's ugly. Now, this is an older article, but damn. In Hollywood, California, a California woman is suing her own parents for $2 million because she blames her parents for her ugly genes. Now, I want to believe this is fake. I would actually like to believe this is a Babylon Bee or an Onion post, which it very well may be. I may be had right here, but I'm going to take this as being legitimate. It says, Annabella Jefferson, 44, believes her parents are fully responsible for her unpleasant physical features, which have led her to 3 divorces and a succession of depressions and psychological troubles. She says, both of my parents are so damn ugly, it's simply cruel to have kids. There is no way they should have been allowed to reproduce themselves. Now, that's her parents there. 82 and 76 years old, being sued by their daughter because she said they shouldn't have been allowed to reproduce in the first place. Imagine hating yourself that much that you would shame your parents for ever having the audacity to have kids and reproduce. Imagine that. Just imagine. She says Jefferson blames her parents for the succession of unsuccessful marriages, which led to a series of psychological problems. She says, during my divorce, my ex-husband told the judge that every morning he saw my face, he felt nauseous and often had to run to the bathroom and puke. Oh, damn. I don't know if that's I don't know if this is legit. Renee, how can you sue your parents? I have no idea. This is America. Again, I want to hope this is a fake article. I want to hope this is satire. I want to believe that I'm being had right now. But again, this stuff is not beyond the realms of reality. Let's be real here. With what we know of the world today, on what people are suing each other over, this is not beyond the realms of reality. And she says here, my last husband was technically blind but regained 40% of his sight after a successful eye surgery. He divorced me the next week. Oh my God. I should have laughed. This is so slack, but damn. Oh, personality, nothing. Yeah, of course not. No, it's always just the looks. No, I tell you what, men will forego looks if there's an increase in personality most of the time. Like, if she's like a 10 out of 10, probably not the most easiest to deal with. But if she's like a 6 to 7 or a 6 to 7.5, but easy to deal with, they'd rather that option. I definitely would in any case. Who says the 44-year-old plans on starting an association for people who have had similar problems who wish to sue their ugly parents. She also hopes to lobby the State Department in the near future to pass legislation on banning people who don't meet decent beauty or aesthetic criteria to be sterilized or not to be allowed to give birth, as so to prevent others from suffering as much as she did. Oh, that's enough internet for today. I can't believe that is legitimate. I can't believe this. I don't know. I want to believe this is fake. I honestly do want to believe this is fake. But see, this is where plastic surgery doesn't come into play, and yet you end up hating yourself. Angelina, already late. Yeah, it's Sydney time. It is 12:22 a.m. So after a week of work, doing the live streams, I probably need a new day for live streams, let's be real here. But yeah, Perth, it's still, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. over there now, probably. It's 12:23 a.m. Sydney time now, so thank you for tuning in, by the way. But yeah, this is where we've come to when it comes to people suing their parents or opting for plastic surgery or not opting for plastic surgery, and maybe the genes that have been passed down to her have not been so kind, but we don't really get to pick and choose what genes we pass on to kids. It just so happens that we have what we have. Yes, Angelina, it is a difficult subject. Look, I don't consider myself no Brad Pitt or any George Clooney. I'm not the best looking man in the world. Could I have some surgery done? Yes, I probably want to maybe change my nose, maybe fix my jaw up a little bit, or my mouth maybe. But I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I am who I am. There's no point in changing it now. But some people, they may opt for it, and that's where you might get some dramas later on down the track. But when it comes to changing, as we said, some people have plastic surgery before they meet someone and have kids with them or reproduce, or maybe just flat out lie that they actually look the way they do when they actually don't. And some others will get it after they've had kids, which I understand. It's probably a bit more accepting, a bit more easier to have surgery after you've had kids, whether you're a male or a female, either or. But there is an article here. Where was it? Not that one. I've got too many open up here. Bloody hell. I can't find it now. Too many articles open. Anyways, this is what I wanted to get to here. This is the main bit here, because this is where I say plastic surgery, it is a form of fraudulence, because if you're lying to them, then obviously you're lying. It's a false pretense. You're being led on the presumption that this person actually looks the way they look. But from a plastic surgeon here, Dr. Yuli Goroditsky, January 9th, 2019, plastic surgery does have many uses, yes. Enhance naturally small breasts, can make them bigger, reduce large nose, like this one right here. It can enhance cheekbones, even make eyelids appear larger. In many ways, possibilities are endless. Yes, we've seen magical makeovers from people along the years, and we've seen some absolute horror shit shows. Take Donatella Versace for one. She is an absolute horror show for plastic surgery. Hell, even Mickey Rourke is up there. Lisa Reiner, she is For a 50-something-year-old, her face just looks abysmal in my opinion. It just looks so bad. But then again, she started getting work done at the age of like 21 or 22 or whatever it was, in her 20s. So she admits now that she messed that part up when she did that. So I think she lived and she learned now, and now she just has to deal with them. So, the actions have your consequences. But it says here, can plastic surgery improve what are perceived as genetic flaws? Yes, but what about children? Can plastic surgery results be passed on to our offspring? In a word, no. And I think that's not rocket science. I think that's a fair assumption. If people say, well, just because I've had my face changed, my body's improved itself, those are not the genes inherently within me. That's just a facade. That's just what's on the outside. Inside, I still have the old DNA, the old genes. The old genes that we have, that's what it is. That's the part of it. That's the old genes are still within there. And yes, Ginger is correct here. It says, accepting oneself has become a thing of the past. It's so sad. There is definitely is a reason for that. And I do believe it is a lot to do from social media and advertising and things like that, the use of Photoshop and filters and all sorts of things. And I did a video just the other day on a TV show called Mirror Mirror within Australia, and it featured a whole variety of different people. A woman who wanted to be a real life Barbie doll. We had a bloke who thought he was just not big enough, when I don't know him personally, but I've seen him in gyms in real life. This guy is not small at all. He's like a literal definition of the Hulk, but he thinks he's too skinny. A 72-year-old woman getting a facelift, making herself look 20, 30 years younger. A man who just filters everything about him, and people don't recognize him when he's in person. Like, the whole thing is just a bit over the top, if you ask me. I think that's what it comes down to. But to finish reading this off, it says plastic surgery does not have the capability to change the DNA of our cells, which, again, I think is not stupid. I think everyone understands that concept. I think everyone should understand that concept. It does not change the epigenetic markers that pass on information. To illustrate, imagine an orange tree. If you pick an orange from the tree and paint it red, does that mean that next year's oranges will be red? No, they'll still be orange. The relationship between the orange you painted red and the oranges you grow next year are about the same as a woman's nose that had a ski bump that was operated on, and the children she had in the future. Now, it does say here that the rhinoplasty can't prevent her body from passing on her genetics to her offspring, which it very well may do. So if she had a big nose or a big bridge, that may still be passed over. But because she's had the work done, obviously she doesn't have that bridge anymore, but her kid may. Or it might skip that generation. However, it is still within the realms of possibility. And that nose she's got, that won't transfer over to her child. But the old nose she did, definitely will. So that's why I say plastic surgery could be fraudulent in a sense if it's done before you've met someone. And look, it can work against you as well. Just because you get plastic surgery doesn't mean it's a good thing. I mean, was it Jennifer Grey, the lady who played Baby in Dirty Dancing, and also the sister in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? She got her nose done and her career went down the toilet because her big nose was what made her her. So not everything has a good thing about it. Now, it does go on to say here, it says, yes, genetic traits have nothing to do with surgery. Patients receive male reduction surgery, a breast augmentation, nose job, whatever, no matter what, traits of plastic surgery will not pass on to the patient's offspring. Whatever traits are inherited have nothing to do with plastic surgery because it has zero effect on the traits passed on to children. It does not affect DNA. 100%. It does not change over. So to all the people who will get plastic surgery or enhancements, again, I'm speaking at a place of before you get together. Once you've had kids and then you fix yourselves up, I can understand that. You're 35, 40 plus, you're like, okay, I need a bit of a tone up. The bloke needs some work done to his face or whatever, and the female needs some work done to her eyes or her cheeks. We can get that. Absolutely can get that. Angelina says here, I agree, it could be fraudulent. Honestly, can't hate someone for being pissed off with their partner for not revealing cosmetic surgery. I can't hate someone for being pissed off. Yeah, see, you'd be, pretty annoyed, realistically. If it's happened and they've told you, that you could probably accept it and say, yeah, cool, no dramas, we'll leave it at that. Not a problem at all. I can deal with that. I'm not exactly the person who you are, but hey, at least I know what you've had done to yourself now. Whereas if you didn't, and then you found out later on down the life when you married someone and it's like, hang on a second, this is really you. I mean, I've seen some absolute makeovers that will freak you. And I've actually done some videos on a few. There is actually a lady within Sydney, actually got into a bit of internet social media beef with her over a comment on one of her posts where she captioned something like all natural, no filter, when you couldn't see the definition of her nose on her photo. Like, it almost looked airbrushed. And I basically said, where's your nose in this photo? Like, you can't sort of see it. And it just wasn't there to begin with. They says, better to tell the truth at the start. Yep. Always better to tell the truth at the start. Any surgery you've had, let them know at least. Obviously, if a man sees a female and she's got like big breasts, you can sort of tell when they're implants, when they're not real. Same with the Brazilian butt lift. I don't understand that at all. It's not something I'd be interested in. Some women will get them. I know some women who still want them, even though they've got decent bodies, because it's the it thing. That's how they stand out. But when everyone becomes the same and they all use the same things, they end up becoming like everyone else, and there's no unique thing about them anymore. They're just like every other girl. Or if the bloke's got pectoral implants or ab implants, because it does happen, and then they're just going to be like every other bloke out there. Things do happen. Things do absolutely happen indeed. So when it comes, as I said, when it's all bums are great, big or small. It's how you use them. Like everything, it's how you use them. Then you go to the gym and earn it. 100%. I am a big advocate of this. If you're going to aim or strive for something, work hard at it and strive for it yourself. There's no greater satisfaction than you having earned something. If you work for something and you've earned it, there's no better reward for it. In my experience, in any case. Obviously, people will probably say, like, you know what, I just don't care for the work. I just want to get the shortcut, get it over and done with. And if that's what they want, then so be it. But they're the people that are going to be unsatisfied, and it's going to keep wanting more and more and more. It becomes an addiction in a way. You end up starting with one procedure, you end up having 10 in like the space of 3 years. So things like that do happen. Now, as I said, with the whole DNA not being able to be passed on, that's one thing. We can't change our DNA inherently and alter our bodies. However, there's one fella out there, apparently, from the Observer, from the Guardian, a former NASA biochemist by the name of Josiah Zayner became an online sensation by conducting do-it-yourself gene therapy on himself. He explains why he did it. So he says, I want to help humans genetically modify themselves. Like, this is where we're at, people. This is the levels that we're at right now. Genetically modifying ourselves to be better looking, better physical, in shape humans. Damn, like, this is just nuts to me. This is just nuts. Before I start reading this, Angelina says she was going to get lipo, but it was 16 kilos just to lose 16K just to lose 5 kilograms. Wow, that is a lot of money. Yeah, man. And Ginger says that's expensive. You're better off working and dieting for, like, you know, a couple of months to lose that 5 kilograms rather than going and paying 16 grand for that. Poor man. These people are taking you for a ride, man. These surgeries, and damn, like, yeah, that's expensive. Holy shit. That's very expensive. Damn. People underestimate the power of a good diet and exercise. The old-fashioned mantra of work hard and earn it doesn't exist anymore. That's what it is. It doesn't exist anymore. Not at all. It says here, Josiah Zayner, 36, recently made headlines becoming the first person to use the revolutionary gene editing tool CRISPR to try to change their own genes. Partway through a talk on genetic engineering, Zayner, see, this is the weird thing, genetic engineering. This is where we start delving into altering humans, and you could argue that it's a way of playing God, or, you know, how did humans come here to begin with? It's the whole notion of how did we get from primates to human beings standing, walking around? You know, where's the missing link? I'm not saying this is true, but a lot of people who are into these weird conspiracy wacko theories will say, well, aliens came and injected us with their own DNA, and that changed the genetic makeup of the primates to become human beings. Like, we are product of aliens, you know what I mean? Some people do believe that sort of stuff, but hey man, I'll let people believe whatever they want to believe until it can be proven, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. But in the meantime, that ain't happening. So that's sort of like the levels that you're going at with this sort of stuff. But he says that he pulled out a syringe apparently containing DNA and other chemicals designed to trigger a genetic change in his cells associated with dramatically increased muscle mass. So effectively, he's got himself a bit of a steroid, but his steroid seems to be one that works without having the need to exercise, which I would find very interesting and fascinating. I don't know how the hell that would happen. You still need to work it or stimulate, the muscles or the genes or whatever in one way to actually get it going. But I don't know. I'm not a biochemist or any biologist, anything like that. I'm just talking out of my ass right now. But he's a former NASA biochemist, so he must know something about what he's talking about. And he says he's become a leading figure in the biohacker movement, which involves loose collectives of scientists, engineers, artists, designers, and activists experimenting with biotechnology outside of conventional institutions and laboratories. So they're basically doing experiments on themselves in private, in the dark. And despite warnings from the FDA, selling gene therapy products without regulatory approval is illegal. Zaina sells kits that allow anyone to get started with basic genetic engineering techniques, as published a free guide for others who want to take it further and experiment on themselves. Damn. This guy is not mucking around. Not mucking around at all. So he's doing this to enhance his own self. How's your arm looking? Similar with animals, you start seeing results after 4 to 6 months. I would expect that the DNA in some of the cells on my arm has changed, but I'm still working on developing assays or tests to try and detect that. As to whether the actual size of the muscle changes, I'm more skeptical. This is like next level stuff here. Like, this is insane levels that this guy is going through. He's trying to actually come up with a method to actually change your DNA and your genes to increase your or alter your appearance. I would imagine for good, for better, not for worse. So, contrary to what we saw here, where he said genetic traits have nothing to do with surgery and that you can't pass on any of your updated surgery features via DNA, which doesn't work that way. Again, it's like a facade. It just, the shell of the car doesn't pass on. You can remove the shell and what's underneath is still there. Same sort of thing. This guy's trying to change that. He's trying to make things happen in that sense there. Gene therapy and CRISPR, which is... it allows scientists to precisely target and edit pieces of the genome. It's a guide for molecule made of RNA that allows a specific site of interest on the DNA double helix to be targeted. So you can, the theory is you can specifically find a particular part of your DNA double helix, whether that be height, whether that be muscle mass, whatever. One of those traits, shall we say, most likely. Enzymes and bacterial enzymes, which is beyond my understanding. But basically, it allows scientists to cut, paste, and delete individual letters of genetic code. So what we like, we can put here. What we don't like, we can remove, and we can copy and duplicate all these sort of things. Like, this is like scary stuff. But it says here, Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer A. Dudna were awarded the Nobel Chemistry Prize for their work on it, the first time that two women have shared the prize. Scary stuff. Scary stuff, if you ask me, regarding this sort of thing. Like, damn. Like, people like this is where it's getting. Like, this is cosmetic surgery without the surgery, shall we say. But when you are looking at people who are altering themselves, it is pretty crazy how some people will do that. Now, if I try and find the TV show Mirror Mirror, this is the Australian TV show. I played this the other day, but I think I might play it for you guys as well if you haven't seen it. This is insane. So, bloody hell, when it pauses, it does this sort of thing. Damn, I was trying to pause so you can get a screenshot of her, but that lady, her name is Tara Jane. She lives in Melbourne, and she's legit. She used to be a cosmetic surgery assistant or nurse, and she's basically become a real-life Barbie doll. As she says, she wants to become a real-life plastic Barbie doll. Yeah, I've seen that guy before in the gym. He's not small by any means. He is huge. Mm-hmm. Yep. Crazy. There's a lady had the facelift. Yes, that is. I believe that is true. Yeah, as he said, it says it. Like he says, like we are genetically programmed to look for beauty and looks for things that look good, and it's true. When you think about it, when you look, it's like we know what looks good, we know what doesn't look good. You see it. If hot people were not hot, they wouldn't be on the cover of magazines. We wouldn't be idolizing hot people. We wouldn't be fawning over hot people. If it was just general people, it would have been like general people. That's good looking enough. Now, obviously, as a general rule, that's what it goes for. But there are some people who maybe don't look at those particular aspects. They do look at certain things when it comes to different traits. Like maybe they don't want the square chiseled jaw and the 6-pack abs and 6 foot tall man. Maybe they want an average person who's maybe got a little bit of belly fat around them, and they don't have to be 6 foot tall, but they can still be decently looking. It is a very weird thing. A mere observation with Vibe says comedic surgery unbeknownst is a bit of a reach. A big reach indeed. Angelina, she was naturally, yes, she was. If you look at the before and after of Tara Jane, she was actually a good looking female. Now she just, as he says here, not to be mean, she looks absolutely, she does. I agree. I agree with you, dude. She does, man. Those lips are just out of control, man. They're out of control. Like the whole thing. If you see her Instagram posts, they are out of control. Shapeshifters, eh? Yes, another thing. Yeah, so that's the thing there. Ginger Pamela Anderson. Yeah, everyone forgets Pamela Anderson. Everyone forgets Pamela Anderson. I mean, for me, the one who's really like not looked the best out of all this is Lisa Reiner. She's just like, oh wow. For me, it's just like, what did you do, Lisa? Holy shit, man! What did you actually do? Damn. But that is yeah, and I don't know if this was actually played in Perth, but if you are signed up to 10 Play, it is on 10 Play on their online service. I think it's free. You just need to make an account. It was over 2 nights, so you really do get to see a lot of it. And again, it's a sense of this is like the other end of the plastic surgery. This is like, obviously you can tell people have had work done to them, so you're not meeting them for the first time thinking, well, this is what they naturally look like. You can literally tell that they don't look like this at all. But if you've met someone for the first time and they look decent enough because they've had some changes on there, but that's not exactly how they really look in real life, that's when you might start questioning and thinking to yourself, okay, maybe there's something going on here. I'm not talking about breast implants or anything like that. That's the easiest thing you can pick out. They've had lips done and things that they're easy, but like noses, cheekbones, all that sort of stuff. If you don't really see that often that well, you might not get it. And there's nothing wrong with it. Again, I don't want people to think I'm saying it's all plastic surgery is bad. No, I'm not saying that at all. But in this particular aspect, if you're looking for long-term relationships with people and you've had plastic surgery or any cosmetic surgery and you're not telling them and they think you look exactly like that as they see you, and then it turns out, 5 years later after a kid or two, like, hang on a second, this kid doesn't have these blue eyes like you, doesn't have these cheekbones like you or anything like that, like it's very different. That's where you could have some dramas in there. But this is this was a legitimate thing here. If we look at Tara Jane, I'm pretty sure there was an article. Yeah, there was an article about her already. This is it here, so you can see this is her here. And I don't want to make this about her. It's not about her, but you can see when cosmetic surgery goes a bit too far. Like that's obviously this is filtered and this is enhanced, but this is like the extreme end of cosmetic surgery, like worse than probably what we thought celebrities were getting some years ago. Crazy. She said, despite what my haters think, she's proud of her work. Plastic surgery gives me a sense of empowerment. And I think in this day and age, it's very important for a woman to be able to express the way they feel or just express everything about beauty. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying no, but is this beauty? I've got plenty of women watching the stream right now. Is this beauty to you, ladies? You know why? I have no idea. I have no idea why. I really do not know. I have no idea why. That's her. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. With my body in particular, I break it down really quickly, so I feel I'm going into the doctors once every couple of months. This stuff does not come cheap, so it's quite easy to spend $2,000 to $5,000 at a time. It's a pretty expensive hobby. It's not an expensive hobby. This is, honestly, I don't want to say anything bad towards her, but this to me is like a mental illness. This is like a mental illness. Like in here, something's gone wrong, and she's got the thought that she has to look a certain way because that's what beauty is. Now, yes, I think we are mature enough and we can acknowledge when things are beautiful, when things are pretty, and when things are absurd and extreme, we can also acknowledge that. And I think that's what we're doing right now. She says she will always be I can't pronounce words. Unapologetically herself. She has tunnel vision when it comes to that stuff because she's dealt with bullying and people making derogatory comments her entire life. I want to see, look how skinny she is. That's not healthy at all. Not healthy at all. At all. Not healthy. Kim K. Kalaja look good, so no hate on surgery, but she does look... Yeah, see, like, that's a good example. They've had surgery done to themselves. Do they really look like that, or are they playing it up a little bit? I think we know they've had surgery done. And it's one of those things where, oh, they're so pretty, they're so beautiful. It's like, well, yeah, if you had money to spend, you can be pretty and beautiful just like them. But that's probably a case of where surgery works. It's good. It enhances. Ultimately, not the same, but it makes it a bit better. And ginger body dysmorphia. Yeah, it is a bit like that. I mean, it looks like she's got inflatable balloons on her chest. Let's be real here. A very skinny body. It's nothing appealing at all whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. At all. She's created a lot of opportunities overseas. TV shows have approached her. You'll be seeing a lot of me, put it that way. Yeah, definitely have. We've seen it on Mirror Mirror. Now, there was another lady out of Sydney, as I mentioned, who I got into some social media beef with a while ago. Jerry, some look unnatural. Yeah, they really do look unnatural. Some look natural, some don't. The natural ones, you can say, you know what, that's good work. That's a decent amount, a minimal amount, that's fine. But when some of them really get hard into it, it's just, you cannot get past it. Once you see it, it is there, and it is there. It doesn't go away anywhere. Does not go away anywhere. Her extraordinary look has opened up new opportunities for her. Well, I'm happy she's making money somehow, because I just don't see how this is appealing. I mean, the way we look at surgeries or cosmetic surgery these days is akin to, I don't want to use this as a way, but it's the only way I can describe it. It's like going to a circus and looking at the freak show, because it's like, wow, what is that? Like, it's something you've never seen before, you never fathomed it before. This cannot be real. How is this even a real thing? And that's what it sort of looks like. It's like, you don't see that every day. You hardly see that anywhere. So when you do see it, it's really a shock to the system. And why someone would go through this effort, this amount of work, this amount of money to get like that. Yeah, she's got OnlyFans. Yes, she does. Yes, she does indeed. Who pays money for this stuff? I have no idea. I have no idea. The bottom line is, you're never going to stop the aging process. It's going to catch up to one or another. And this, I have this argument with a friend of mine almost every single day. Oh, look how good looking these women are. I want to look like this. I want to look like this. Then go get your surgery done. But I don't want to go under the knife. I'm scared of the surgeries. Well, then you're in a bit of a conundrum, aren't you? You want one thing, you're going to the other. Like, you can't have one without the other. You know what I mean? I need to go to the dentist, but I hate the drill. Well, you have to bear the drill in order to get the work done. I want to go and get surgery, but I hate going under the knife. Well, you're going to have to go under the knife to get the surgery, aren't you? It's like a person wearing extreme makeup that cannot come off ultimate facade. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier on. A mere observation with vibe. I like that. I need to... AMOWV... I'll just say a mere observation with vibe. Yes, I did say that earlier on. Yeah, it's a lot of makeup that can't come off. It's permanent makeup, shall we say. It's like a tattoo. There was one other person, was it? 49 minutes. I'm already got 10 more minutes. There was another thing I wanted to bring up with this, but yeah, back to the point when it comes to the plastic surgery, like you cannot pass it on. It is a bit of a fraudulent thing if you think about it, because it's like, am I really this person who I'm looking at in the mirror? I know I'm not, because on the outside I've changed. It's one thing, again, if you have minor surgery. It's another thing if you have major overhaul surgery. Like, who was it? Bloody hell. Bloody, I'm trying to think of where it was. Cosmetic surgery. There was an article I remember seeing a while ago, and she was said she shouldn't need to work because she was too hot. She was too good looking. Unbelievable stuff. I'm trying to find the article for it now, but I can't remember where it was now. But damn, she was pretty beforehand, and she's just added so much to herself now that you just cannot see the difference in her anymore. You just cannot see the difference. I'll just do this right now. So it's a bit there. Even the tattoo makeup fades away. The plastic surgery can F you up permanently. Yeah, I mean, let's look at some bad plastic surgery, shall we say? What do we got here? Women's Health Mag, 35 celebs who regretted plastic surgery. What are we gonna see here? Let's view the gala. Jessica Simpson. Let's check this out now. Let's have a look. Let's go. There's Jessica Simpson there. Lip injections. Yeah, she did get lip injections, actually. The next one's interesting. Melissa Gilbert. Yeah, that's just... Nose looks a bit odd. The eyes... Terrible. There's Lisa Rinna. Like, damn. Lisa Rinna. Like, damn. Was she on Melrose Place? Beverly Hills 90210. And I was a young kid when those shows were out. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, yeah. Known for her lips. She got injections at 24. Injections at 24. That's what she got. When it says when having the plastic surgery, some surgery don't turn the way you see in the picture. Exactly right. You're chasing a dragon, effectively. You're chasing the hive of dragon. Tori Spelling, of course. How can we forget Tori Spelling? Tori Spelling, breast implants. Don't remember the breast implants. Look at the face you've got there, man. The face you've got there. That's really the issue there that I would think, man. Like, damn. Chrissy Teigen, no stranger to controversy. She is. Yes, she's had work done. Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh. Well, she had there. Tried everything. Comes to skincare, including Botox. I'll try anything except I won't do Botox again. Isn't she selling candles that smell like her vagina? That's her, isn't it? It's Gwyneth Paltrow. Victoria Beckham. Yeah, you can see the nose. You can see the lips. That's the thing for me. The lips is the most obvious thing. The lips is the most obvious thing that you can change. What women tend to change: Botox, lip fillers, injections, all that sort of stuff. Heidi Montag. Don't know if you can really see much on that one there. Sharon Osbourne. Yeah, she actually had, she's changed a lot. She has. Yeah, Jennifer Grey. Would you think that's Jennifer Grey if you saw her walking down the street? Oh, she does. Yeah, it's so funny. Candles. Candles that smell like her vagina. Vagine. Ah, bloody hell. And now she's making... some of her candles have exploded or something. I remember hearing correctly. Weird. Anyways. Yeah, Jennifer Grey. Yeah, the nose. She had the iconic nose, and then she lost it. Nose job from hell. Always be the one famous actor nobody recognized because of a nose job. This is when it happens, man. You get things done. You think you're doing something better. Makes it even worse. Courtney Cox. Yeah, she's got plastic surgery. Excuse me. Big time plastic surgery. Dana Delaney, Desperate Housewives. Oh, yeah, I remember her. Adrienne Bailon, Cheetah Girls 2. Don't know what the hell that is. Having insecurity and have a big breast, now look like a porn star, and I was like, oh, this is not great. Well, you get what you pay for. Khloe Kardashian, yeah, everyone knows about the K's. Everyone knows the K's. No secret, she's done plastic surgery. She wasn't entirely happy with the face fillers. She had to get them dissolved because they made her look crazy. I want to see this. I want to see this. What do we look? Oh, nice, got a video. I want to see what it's just a video. Nah, never mind. I thought I was going to look at what she actually looked like beforehand. But no, they've had surgery. All of them have. Yeah, Nicole Kidman, she's had it. Yep. Oh, Kathy Griffin. Oh, bloody hell. Massive surgery on her. Massive surgery on her. Yeah, Kim K as well. She said she regretted getting Botox. On the show, I had some bruising around my eyes after the procedure, which was totally natural, but because I hadn't looked into the side effects, I freaked out. Botox wasn't necessary at this age. And I was going to highlight this bit here. Botox just wasn't necessary for me at this age. And this is another thing that we're seeing. Ladies and men, because I know a lot of men who get fillers and all sorts of other weird shit done to them. From young ages, they're getting this stuff done, and it becomes a habit. I think they're called, there's this thing, I think they're called pre-aging. I think it's called pre-aging. I read about it somewhere. Preventative, was it that one? Fillers make you look older. Fillers because you age faster. Damn. It was something like that. It was there was something that they were doing. They were literally injecting themselves and putting things in themselves first up because they wanted to get ahead of it. And it doesn't work out that way. Damn, what was it called? If you're in the chat, if you know, please help me here. I know this is bad at live radio, but damn, I'm trying to think. What was it called? It wasn't pre-aging. It was youngsters just getting surgery so early and ruining themselves. Angela, I'm 30 and never get needles in my face. Use sunscreen and vitamin A, the natural stuff. Use the natural stuff. And the brand is Supergoop. Yeah. What a name, Supergoop. Yuck, man. Yuck. What the hell is that? Anyways, a few articles here says why preventative Botox injections could be aging you from Vogue. Let's see what Vogue says. From August 17th, so still recent. What you need to know about your preventive Botox in your 20s. Apparently it ages you. Pivotal shift in how women in the 20s look at their faces. Yes, we know. Yep. Body dysmorphia zoom face. Interesting. Check that out later. No thanks. Women in the 20s first consider using Botox. Prevention is often the primary factor since the early signs of aging such as crow's feet, forehead wrinkles, and fine lines beginning to show. Lines get deeper with age. I think everyone sort of like comes across with that. No issues there. Says Botox only lasts 3 to 6 months. Yeah, while it's less commonly discussed in this, facial muscles naturally weaken over time and going overboard on certain area could have unwanted consequences. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, so because you're getting the Botox, it's basically putting your muscles at ease and saying, okay, you don't have to work and do what you got to do now. You know, we say like, well, we can't tell if they're frowning or not because I was like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm crying right now, but we can't see because I can't frown because I can't use my facial muscles for it. It's like that Simpsons episode when Lenny gets plastic surgery to look happy and then he's like, oh, everyone's sad except him. He looks the happiest person here. And then he's smiling and he says, this is the worst day of my life because he can't move his face. And there's a reason why we also say she's had that or he's had that much plastic surgery. We don't know what facial expressions they have because it's a natural thing. Sort of how testosterone and steroids are used. When they're used, they suppress the natural creation of testosterone in men. So testicles shrink. That's what happens. And when they stop using them, they do come back, but over time. But do they come back as strong? Do you need to regulate it again? They all have their pros and cons, but it's the same sort of concept. If you keep putting artificial things into something that's meant to be working naturally and it doesn't, well, it's going to weaken and it's not going to be working as strong. So basically what it is. So it says here, if you do too much Botox, your forehead, many muscles will flatter. Yep, moreover, your muscles become weaker. They can start to recruit surrounding muscles when you make facial expressions. If one stops using the forehead muscles, they may start squinting using the nose and have wrinkles along the sides of their nose. Damn. Nothing's free. I actually do like that name there. Nothing is free at all. It says, I'll never forget the day my wife's friends came over to get ready without makeup. They had dead skin. Oh, yes. It does happen sometimes when ladies have excessive makeup on all the time, and when you see them clear, it does not look like the healthiest thing. I'm not saying don't go out with them, divorce them or whatever, but it's not the healthiest thing. It doesn't really look like it's anything that good. Same thing goes for fillers, same deal. Just putting artificial stuff into your face, into your body does not help. As I said, if you're a male and you put testosterone into you, yeah, it's going to give you a bit of a kick and you're going to have to work hard to maintain it. There is a way to bring that back, but when you're doing something like this from a very young age, when it comes to plastic surgeries or enhancements or cosmetic enhancements or whatever the hell we're going to call the term, they do have some long-term effects. The lips are tricky. Yeah, I'd be a suspect. Botox can be injected into the orbicularis oris muscle along the lip line. Oh, just hearing that makes me wince. As an alternative to lip fillers, I just don't know how ladies do it, man. What started this craze? What absolutely started this craze? Like, this is beyond me now. Like, I can't believe it. There's another thing here. How started our faces on Zoom is impacting our self-image. So I did see something like this, actually. This is what they call about Zoom, because you always see yourself on Zoom and you can alter your appearance and make it look different. And same thing when it comes to filters on social media and all that sort of stuff. And when you look at yourself in real life, you don't look exactly how you do through a camera, because the camera does do some bits and pieces, does add enhancements to your face. Not like Gerard Depardieu said, the camera adds 20 pounds to your face. I don't think it does. If it did, I'd look very, very fat, but I don't. So I don't think it does there. But yes, it says, anecdotally, I think people are probably far less likely to understand that the photos they see of their friends and peers on Instagram may also be completely unrealistic. Comparing your appearance to perfected images that your peers have posted is a lofty and unattainable comparison, and it's likely to set people up to feel self-critical or inadequate. And that's basically what you get through the social media aspect. That's where a lot of people probably start thinking of themselves, well, why can't I look like this person? I want to look like this person. Why are they so perfect and I'm not? I need to have the body they have. They don't have the lifestyle they have. It's not always the case. I mean, it doesn't always work that way. Social media, that started the craze, yeah. The filters and all that sort of stuff has really damaged our psyche as human beings. And it's come to a point where you can point out that someone's using a filter online. You can actually say to them like, why do you use a filter? Like, you don't need it. And they get offended like you've called them the worst thing in the world. I've just literally just called out, I can see you're using a filter. Why are you getting upset? You know you used a filter. I pointed out you're using a filter, but you're getting upset at me because I pointed out you're using a filter, as though your face is naturally that smooth. Yes, because you really have that chiseled jawline, my friend, because you really have that beard that looks painted on. Some people don't understand filters. I don't get it either. I really don't understand it. I do not get it. But again, it is a craze. It is a craze, like, social media. Behind, what do we got here? My surgery. Not that one there. See, a lot of posts here, how does social media influence plastic surgery? It is a thing. It really definitely is a thing. It is a thing indeed. Social media opening youth up to cosmetic surgery. It's an interesting one there. Yeah, I think that's a definite thing. I think that's a definite thing there indeed. When youngsters see your Kim K's and your rappers or your sports stars and your models and all that sort of stuff, and it's like you can see that there's so much fakery done in that, and yet they still believe it because in their minds it's ingrained that this is what perfection is, and you are not perfection, so you are less than, which is not the case. Absolutely not the case. Dating sites, filters make themselves. I'm going to show you something. It's a Reddit. I've done this before. I have done this before. It's called Instagram Reality, and you will actually see the madness that people go through to alter themselves. Absolute madness. I see this every day, like Instagram. I forgot I spelled that wrong. Instagram reality. Where is it? Yeah, come on, Instagram. There it is. Perfect does not exist. We all have, yep, we all do. Indeed, 150%. Now, this is one of my favorite. I don't use Reddit that often, but when I do, I always look at this because you just see some absolute madness on here. See the filter just changed on him just then? This guy as well, see? Altering filters. See? Like, this is what we're up against. We're up against this sort of stuff here. This is the stuff on social media. Like, look at his shorts. Like, this is what is portrayed to us. Some of them look good. Some of them look abysmal. Abysmal. Where's the skin texture? No skin texture whatsoever. No skin texture whatsoever on that one there. Yeah, because that really looks like someone. The amount of Photoshop is insane. Wow, okay. So that's what she looks like. And then there's your edits. There is your edits. There you go. That's why it's important when you're dating someone and you're going out on a first date. You've met online through social media. I've said this before, the coffee date videos. You've met online or wherever. Let's go out, meet face to face. One of the reasons why you want to meet face to face is so you know you're actually talking to the person who you're seeing in your photos. Because as much as we want to say, well, it's such a shallow thing, why can't you just like the person for them being nice? It's like, well, yes, you can, but let's be realistic here. We have eyes. We are visual creatures. Men are visual creatures. Women are visual creatures as well. You're not going to talk to someone who's got the best personality if they don't look nice. Let's be real here. So you want to make sure that the person you're talking to is literally the person that you're seeing in your photos. That's what it is. It looks like a Bratz doll. It looks like a Bratz doll. Video chat. Without filters, mind you. Video chat without the filters. Without the filters. Yeah, because your waist is really that thin. Yep, 100%. Totally. Yep. Yeah, your waist is really that thin. Found in the reviews on a particular clothing website. Where are her organs? Where are her organs? Someone please tell me. This is why I don't do online dating. This is why I don't do online dating, man, because this shit is on there. If you can't tell that is fake, I have no idea where you're getting information from, honestly. Yes, totally real. Yes, let me just increase the size of my breasts and literally just change the whole structure and look of my arm. Yeah, there are filters. There are definitely filters out there. 100%. What's this one here? Certain big brand releasing their Halloween collection. Never knew the horror of holiday was going to be a Photoshop. What's this one here? What are we looking? We're looking at Photoshop wise. What are we looking at here? Okay, yeah, there's a bit of airbrushing on here. I'm trying to think. What are we looking at specifically? The neck? The neck looks pretty long, actually. Yeah, it might be the neck. What else? Something ridiculous. The face filter. Reality TV does flickers for a brief moment. Let's see if we can catch it again. Oh, yep, there it is. You saw it there. You saw it there. Yep, that's what happens. That's what happens. People can use camera software on the computers, then put it to their phones. Yeah, there's an app. I saw a video for an app where you're doing a video, you can literally change it in real time. Like it's scary stuff, man. It really is scary stuff, and I don't mean it like scary as though, oh, I'm talking to someone hideous when they actually look pretty. It's scary stuff where we're going to a level where this should not be possible. Like we're literally altering our appearances, literally living fake lives, if you will, or being fake people. Like social media, excuse me, was meant to be like a supplementary thing to our lives, like a complement, not the main focus of it. And yet, some people have turned it into their sole purpose for life. Only one part not edited. Her hands do not match the look of the face. Yep, you can see that one there. Instagram versus modeling versus real life. So Instagram, modeling, real life. Okay, well, not exactly the worst thing, but in comparison, yeah, it's not her face. That there, not her. Yeah, not the face. Not the face at all. Yep. Slender man is posing for Ugg boots now and tights. Or slender woman, sorry. That I just assume their gender. Yep, totally real there. Look shopped. Face definitely shopped. Facetune, that's another thing. Facetune is used a lot these days, man. Again, where are your organs? Photo versus video. Yeah, look how skinny she is in the photo. And then the video, she's not so... It's pretty. Still pretty. But damn. What's going on there? Yeah, the hips, man. The hips are crazy. Hips be wildin'. The hips be wildin' indeed. What are we looking at? What are we catching? Something's a little off here. Was it the face? Is it the arms? The bottom? Ass looks way out in comparison to her legs. Way out. So you can barely see the nose texture on here. A lot of that happens. But this is a little bit, I don't want to drag it on for too long on here, but this is what you get. You can see this sort of stuff. So, no, it is what it is. But anyways, I think I might leave it there. Was an hour and 11 minutes. I'll leave it there. I'm getting a bit tired. It's 10 past 12. Yeah, so surgery, do it if you want. Do it as you will, but there's a limit with these sort of things. You can't be going on, hammer and tong for it non-stop and then expecting, no repercussions or nothing bad to come of it. It is a certain thing. You're going to get it done once you've had kids and all that sort of stuff. I can understand that. If you do it beforehand, cool, you get one or two things done. But a full change up and you don't tell the person that you're with, I think that's a bit of a shifty dealing there. Same time zone, Sydney time zone, 11:13 a.m. Tired as F after a long work week. Yeah, plastic surgery. Is it fraudulent? Yes, it very well could be. But then again, so could makeup, so could filters and all these other bits, fillers and things like that. And you've got to be a bit smarter when it comes to looking for these things. And ladies as well. I'm not just talking about this on for the ladies who do this. Men will get this stuff done too. Men will have facial surgeries. They'll have ab implants and all these other weird things. They'll even have cheeks done to give themselves a square jaw. They'll have noses touched up and eyes and all that sort of stuff there. And men will use filters as well. Men will do it because they need to look as good as they do. When you see them in real life, they don't have the six-pack abs that they had in their photos. Do they still drive that Lamborghini that's in their photos? That's another question. It's another question, but we'll leave it there. Anyways, enough for this one. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, plastic surgery. I'll probably say buyer beware and tread lightly as you would. So, I'm out.